The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast, the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything that you can think about Latino people, culture, music, food, tacos, your favorite, Taco Tuesday, all that, because of Latinos. There you go. LeBron, you're welcome, sir. There you go. So I have a very special show today because we have special guests. A special guest today. I've seen them perform before. Cumbia is a very influential in the Latino culture. It's been growing for years, and its history is crazy. I looked up a little bit on the history of it. I'm going to do an episode more thoroughly on cumbia at a later time, but I figure we start off with somebody that actually does cumbia and been doing it for years. We have Los Gran Reyes.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having us.
Hey, no problem, bro. So introduce yourself real
Yeah,
quick
so
to me.
my name is Augustine. I'm the keyboard musical director for Los Gran Reyes. And this is...
Christian Granados, drummer and backup vocals,
Nice
also
dancer
bass.
too. Dancer, right? You be getting down on the
Nah.
dance floor. Not no more?
Nah, that was another guy.
That was the other guy. Okay,
Yeah, but-
okay. Real quickly, so both of you are Mexicanos, or what is your, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah,
Just curious.
Mexican-American.
Mexican-American?
Mexican-American.
Cool.
Yeah, our parents are from Michoacan, Pátzcuaro, Michoacan. And, we bring a lot of our roots into...
So both of you are Mexican-American, right?
Yes.
And y'all know Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do y'all feel about people that say, I always ask this question because I think it's funny, and it's it sparks conversation and controversy at times where, like, you're not Mexican if you don't know Spanish. How do y'all feel about that when people say that?
Come on, Chris.
Huh?
I have...
Do you know
Kinda
Spanish?
Sí, yo.
Sí.
Es español, sí.
But it wasn't like...
I mean, sometimes I find it weird because it's like your parents, like they came
Right.
just knowing Spanish, and
Right.
like, how does the kid only know English now?
That's true.
I kind of find that weird sometimes.
What about you, Agustin? How do you feel about
I
that?
think it falls on the parent, mostly.
Yeah.
Them not influencing their kids with the culture, especially, knowing how rich and like how beautiful the Mexican culture is.
Right.
For them to not teach their kids Spanish, it's kind of like
Yeah.
like you're taking something away from them. They're missing out on something.
And I saw it like that for a long time too. But then I saw this episode of a couple of Latinos that we done before.
Yeah.
That their parents did not want them to learn Spanish for the same reason that at that time there was a lot of prejudice against Hispanics, Mexicans. So if they saw them speaking a foreign language in school and things like that, they might get picked on or discriminated against.
Right.
So I get it at one point, but it made me see it a different way. Like, oh, I understand. So it kind of does fall, but it just depends on which way. Like, did they want to protect them, or did they just want to make sure they're Americanized so they could just be looked at a different way instead of seeing somebody from a different country speaking a different language? Because people are ignorant, you know. So that. All right, enough of the seriousness. Let me start with something that I like to do. What I think is fun. It's called preguntas al chile. It's not vulgar or anything. No, preguntas al chile just means direct. The things that are, we want to get to the bottom of what y'all really like. Okay, so we're going to start off with both of y'all. First question. It's going to be real serious too, man. Y'all be ready. Tacos or tortas?
Tacos.
Tacos. Corn tortillas or flour tortillas?
Corn.
Corn. Órale. Mexican coca or jarrito?
Mexican coca.
Mexican coca.
You're a cheater, right? You wrote all these answers down. Horchata or Jamaica?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like horchata.
Go with that, Mike.
Yo en Jamaica. All right. Jamaica. Team Jamaica all day. Salsa verde or salsa roja?
Verde.
Verde.
Me too.
Yeah.
Menudo or pozole?
Damn.
Menudo.
I go with pozole.
Pozole? Oh, we got a different
Yeah, I
one.
prefer menudo.
Churros or sopapillas?
Churros.
Yeah, churros.
Churros all day, yeah. I don't know if y'all drink. I don't know if y'all age appropriate. Hopefully y'all are. Corona, Dos Equis, or Modelo?
Dos
Three
Equis.
options.
Corona.
Tequila or mezcal?
I guess tequila.
Tequila?
Yeah, tequila.
All right.
That
was
mezcal, you can't play with that.
Yeah, that's the worm. The worm always wins. The worm,
Yeah.
believe me, the worm always wins.
Yeah.
You'll remember, and he'll remind you
Definitely.
that he's king. Absolutely. All right, well, appreciate you. That was a couple fun questions that I like. Are we done? Wrap it up. I'm just kidding. All right, so real quick. So y'all have, tell me first about the name. You used to have a different name. Los Gran Reyes is now your name, right? That you have.
Yeah, so it was always Los Gran Reyes,
Mm-hmm.
but it used to be Los Gran Reyes de la Música.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, they would name every band like de la cumbia for anything. It's like, Los Pelones de la Cumbia and this de la Cumbia.
Oh,
So whenever we started off, we were like Los Gran Reyes, and they would automatically put de la Cumbia. But it was like every other band is de la Cumbia already, so we wanted to be different. So we put de la Música. After a while, it just kind of got too long to pronounce at shows and kind of in between songs and stuff like that. So we decided to shorten it down to just Los Gran Reyes.
And then you changed the logo too, because you used to have a different logo.
Yeah, we decided to give it like a different
that one right
look.
there now.
That one right there.
New logo right now.
It's simpler, catchy. I like it. The font's nice.
Yeah, so easier to print as well, for merch and stuff like that. But it just Gran Reyes comes from our last names, which is Los Granados Reyes, which are both of our last names, and we just kind of put them together, Gran Reyes.
I like that.
So
that's cool.
And
all right, so y'all used to have, if I'm mistaken, 4 members. Like back in the days, I known y'all for maybe 4 or 5 years that I've seen y'all before perform. So y'all have a little bit more now, right?
Yeah, we started off with 6 members.
6 members.
Yeah, pretty much the basics of cumbia with the percussion, the accordion, drums and all that. And then we've been adding. Recently, we 3 years ago, we had horn players join in. Oh, nice. Sarah and Gloria, they couldn't make it today, but I want to give a shout out to them.
Shout out to them.
Sarah and Gloria, one of them is from El Paso and the other one's from El Valle. Nice. So, and then they've been adding their sauce into to the style.
Yeah, because I was saying that I was looking into cumbia some and things like that, and a lot of it stuff started getting added into the cumbia, saxophone, accordion, and all that stuff. You know, so it just became like a thing, and then more different things that it just sounds so good. And live instruments you can't beat. Why cumbia? Like you have corridos mexicanos, you have norteñas, you have tumbado now, all kinds of different things. So why cumbia? I mean, it could have been different.
So it's funny you ask, because where our families originate from they're from Tierra Caliente, like
Tierra Caliente, Huapangos. They have their own. I learned that they have their own type of Huapango. It's not the same kind.
It's zapateado.
Zapateado. Yep.
But they have a specific genre, very typical, and we didn't go, with that because we pretty much grew up with cumbia. Growing up in Texas and Dallas, you hear a lot of music like gruperas like Pegaso and Topaz, and then you start hearing like Chicos de Barrio and Los Capi and then Aniceto. So you kind of just we kind of grew up with that music, and it's kind of what got us attracted to music in the first place. So we kind of went on that route, and it's thankfully, thanks to God, we've been getting accepted in the cumbia industry. So
how many total years so far right now that y'all been doing it?
A little bit over what?
14
years since we started.
Around there, probably.
Around there, something like that.
14 years.
Yeah, because we started off like 13 years old, something like that.
Okay. Before I get to my next one, because I know you had done interviews before, but nothing like this. It's just more in depth. But I wanted to see maybe whenever y'all would get an interview, there was 3 questions that they wish, let's start with 3, that you wish they would have asked you, they were asking you questions. So what would that be?
Start, Chris.
I'm really not sure.
For starters, they never ask us on how we do the music, how we record, and how everything comes together.
Okay, so tell me the process of making a song for you. How does that go?
All right,
because y'all do covers, but that y'all do have your own original material.
Yeah, correct? for originals, we sort of just kind of get in the garage and get together and just kind of throw down some beats. And then if I have something in mind, I'm like, all right, give me a rhythm. You'll play a rhythm on the drums, and then we just kind of start playing it off, and I start building it, and I start playing on the accordion, just, the idea, and then we just kind of build upon that.
Right.
And then once we get like an intro and a chorus for it, I'll take that stuff to the studio.
Right.
And that's where I work on it. I pretty much work on all of our music behind,
So do y'all come together because how many members are total now?
So we got 8,
7.
Yeah.
7. So, and having a big band in studio, it's a little costly. So do y'all do it all? It come in as a session, or do y'all just spread it out and different people record their instruments at different times?
Yeah, different times. It's we send once I make the demo, I sent it out to all the guys, and they kind of learn their part, and then they come in and just record whatever they got to do.
Oh, nice.
But it all gets started, in band practice with a little, lick or.
So in your garage, you start coming up with something, build from there, and then add on some more in the studio, send it out to them, and then they bring it back in, and then y'all do that.
Yeah.
And it comes to life.
It comes to life, and then we let it sit for a couple of weeks. What I like to do, I like to just kind of play it myself, play it over, and just kind of listen for stuff that I can change, or I like to know if it's still gonna be something that I'm gonna like later on in the future. And then
what about the lyrics?
Who's
mostly the writer?
I guess
mostly
both
the
of
writer.
us.
So he writes most of some of the lyrics.
My process is usually I just write I just have a ton of lyrics
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of times I just end up combining them into one song.
Yeah. So your structure of the song, because there's different way to structure a song, right? You can do just like the hook and then the verses and then another hook or maybe a bridge in the middle. So mostly y'all have like a way y'all do it, or not necessarily, just the way that whatever it feels better.
Whatever feels better. Like I said, sometimes I'll have beats. Whenever I work with him, like whenever he writes the lyrics, I'll be making cumbia beats in my computer. So whenever he brings me lyrics, I'll find the perfect beat for that one. And then we just kind of try to add it in there. And then I try to match it with.
Have you ever ran into, because I did a little bit of music, just a little bit. But at times I felt like the beat was talking to me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it felt like this went with it for whatever reason. Like this needs to go with this beat because it sounds like it. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds weird to say, but it's not like it's talking to you. Like, hey, put me here. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you ever get at that?
I think sometimes like I hear, the melody and how it's structured and how many beats.
The per minute you're doing.
Yeah, and then I just figure out this might fit here.
Nice. Okay, check this out. So we did one on Despacito. Despacito became a huge hit, right?
Oh yeah.
So Fonsi woke up one day having like this thing like that. The script was like, San Puerto Rico. 3 years later, he went into the studio, recorded that little like thing like that, like just mumbling. And 3 years later, they started working on that song, and then it came to life.
Right.
But he started from that waking up from a dream and going to the studio and recording it immediately. Mm-hmm. And then 3 years later, it became what it became, like a huge freaking hit. So it's crazy that you say you do it like that, because he woke up out of a dream with that, and he needed to put it down somewhere so he wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
And you think about it too, because a lot of times we come with some great ideas. Like, oh yeah, and then you forget, you don't write it down or anything. Before you know it, 3 years later, somebody else is like, man, I thought about that like 3 years ago. Why did I do something with it? You know what I mean? So it's cool that you do it that way too. But it's crazy how little things like that is just a moment you got to capture, but then put in a record, and 3 years later it becomes like, I don't think he ever imagined his hit would be the biggest hit ever.
Yeah,
like it's literally like the biggest hit ever. I know it's not cumbia, but to be honest, it's not like truly reggaeton either. Mm-mm. It's got like a little, you can say it got a little cumbia vibe to it.
Yeah,
a
pop
bit.
Reggaeton.
Right, something like that.
They add like some more kind of cumbia también.
Yeah, it does. It's got a little bit of a cumbia thing too. Yeah. It feels real nice and romantic, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so did y'all ever do that cover? Have you ever done that cover for it?
No,
no.
We're gonna have to or something.
Bro, I think we
gotta bring it back.
I think it's still a thing. I think it will never go away. People still feel it, and I don't know if I heard it in the cumbia. I think I did hear it in different times, but give you your own little twist. I think it was
cumbia
nice.
norteña.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, it's kind of different.
Yeah, it's kind of different. All right, what about the question number 2? What do you feel like that they never asked you? You wish they would ask you?
All right, come on, Chris. Think of something.
If I like tacos.
You like tacos?
Yeah, I think you started off with the questions that no one has asked. But
yeah.
Yeah,
see, that's the thing. I said, who was that I was messaging you? Was it you?
Yeah.
I told you I was going to start with this question. See, he set you up for failure, because I told you I was start with this question.
I told him.
You didn't think
I don't know.
You didn't do your homework.
He just said, I don't know.
All right.
Like pre-gig rituals or something.
Yeah. Do y'all have pre-gig rituals? Something that y'all do before y'all do? Because there's a lot of bands that do something. Like they either got to take a shot or, do a prayer, whatever the case might be. So what is your ritual before you get in the stage? Besides making sure that the engineer has it sound right and do all that.
I just know I like to stretch
for
every gig.
For every gig.
So I gotta be good for the drums and stuff.
All right. What about you?
I'm usually always setting up for the band.
So you don't worry about.
I don't worry about the stuff. I have like all the stress of like having to hook up all over our
All
stuff.
right.
And but
So spill the tea on your other band members. What are some of them that do something?
yeah, they do stuff.
All right, what is it?
I'd say what I do is I'll sleep on the drive to the venue. And then I guess that'll be my ritual.
Oh,
that's my ritual. I kind of sleep and kind of reset my whole day and just kind of prepare for the event, for the gig. Yeah.
I mean, that is a way.
Yeah,
It's like
so-
a ritual to do. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. What about your other band members? Do y'all know
we-
they gotta do something? What do they do?
Eat.
They like to eat?
Like to eat.
Yeah?
Yeah. Eat. We'll eat or we'll do a quick run to like McDonald's or all these fast food restaurants and get something small.
Y'all don't get tired, like sleepy after? Like, if I was to eat, I'd be like, I don't know about this gig, man. I don't know. They didn't do the deposit on time. I don't know. We can just say they breached the contract. Let's just, that's enough.
We're telling them, let's go.
All right. And one last question that
Yeah.
you wish they would have asked you in an interview at one time, whether it's family related or upbringing or even things like that. Nothing else? That's a
I
pretty good
had another
question,
one,
Jay.
but yeah.
See,
That's the third question right
See,
there.
it would have been like Fonzie and wrote it down.
Yeah.
Never left it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to your projects. So I looked up on the website.
I do want to add
Mhm.
because you did mention the name, the logo change.
Yeah.
The reason why we did that is I kind of wanted to create like a bridge between the new sound that we're introducing.
Right.
Because the old stuff is it's good stuff. I like it.
Right.
But I kind of want to make it more commercial, where it reaches out more people, more other countries
Right.
that we're not hitting. As far as cumbia, from our region.
All right.
So
Okay.
that's why we did that.
So talking about that, so I know that you grew up on different sounds and things like that, and a lot of the times we want to lean that direction of people that we looked up to.
Mm-hmm.
So what would y'all describe the type of cumbia that y'all do? What would y'all label it? Do y'all feel like y'all do a little twist? They might be a little different. They could be named something else, like its own genre. Do y'all feel like y'all fall into like sonidero or different things like that?
I think we don't fall in any of those categories just because all the influences that we kind of put into our music that do make it sound very different. We do grab influence from cumbia lagunera, which comes from Torreón, Coahuila, and a lot of cumbia colombiana from Maniceto and salsa piña like that. We just kind of influence it into our stuff, and it sounds different.
Right.
And we don't really categorize it as lagunera or cumbia colombiana. We just kind of say, we play cumbia, and
Right.
we try to reach out everyone. Cumbia para el mundo. I mean, it's kind of our deal.
And who do y'all find yourselves being booked more as far as like regiones de Mexico? Like which ones do you feel like people would book y'all more for gigs?
People from Torreón.
Torreón?
In Guanajuato.
Guanajuato?
Yeah, Guanajuato.
They like
Guanajuato,
it?
They like
Torreón.
cumbia like too.
They like that. Okay, that's cool. So with that, I went into the website, checked out some of the projects you had, and I think I have them in order. So Festival de la Cumbia was first, right?
That's our latest one.
That's the newest one. So I'm
Yeah.
going in reverse. Let me start from the beginning. So the first project was Le Pongo Sabor, right?
Right.
And how did that project came to be? And that one all original? Does it have covers on that one?
I think it's 6, if I remember correctly, 6 originals and 5 covers. And we did that in high school. We were 16-year-old kids
Wow.
writing music.
That's pretty cool.
We jumped into the studio and we still can't beat the stats on the.
Why is that? What
on
do you
album.
mean?
I think
The numbers, as far as the numbers that you did?
Yeah, we still get a lot of plays from that and a lot of requests still at the clubs. People still ask for those songs even though they're like over 10 years old.
Hey, that's still
But,
classics though.
yeah.
That's classics.
So
That
whenever
says something.
yeah, I mean we still enjoy playing them. We love playing those songs. They're fast paced songs, so it's kind of like damn, I can't dance like I used to.
Have you ever thought about doing remixes to some of them old classic ones just to give it a new wave sound? Because y'all sounds more mature now than it used to be back then.
I thought about it, but I kind of held myself back, just because I kind of want to move forward. I don't want to touch something that already sounds
because
good.
you're right, it's a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I feel like it is a classic on the people that follow you that request a song because it's just something that they did to them that even 10 years later they still request that same song.
Yeah, and I don't want to run into the issue where it's like it sounded better before. You know, I don't want to that because we had that vibe.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, it was like we had that vibe at that time, so it sounds like that because you know we were in that stage where we were like 6-year-old kids.
It's kind of what was more.
We were hyped.
Yeah, that was the hype.
Well, think about it. It was a whole lot more energy because y'all were more hyped. Yeah, we're. I'm not saying that the hunger left you, but when you're younger, you had that hunger. You just want to go in so passionate. And I'm not saying that the passion diluted, but you know, it's a different vibe when you're younger, right? Because you find something that you really truly love, and you just can't get up in the morning. It's like get over there and do it. So,
but we still got that vibe, you know. But it's a different feel. Yeah. You know, you're younger. You have a different mindset and different idea of what things are. But now as we're mature, we still, you know, we have more of a professional idea of how to do things and how to like do things right, and not just mess around in the studio.
But he still came out with something. Yeah, did come out with it. All right, so the next one is that the one that you did with? Let me see, Gruperas de Recuerdo. Oh yeah, that's the other one, right?
Yeah, that's the second one. We try to reach out, you know, bring some of the classics as Grupera, some of the music that we grew up with,
right?
Like Pegacera, Cumbia de Pegaso, and like we added some bookies there too in Cumbia, and we just kind of wanted to reach out a little bit more of a wider audience. Because the first album, you know, it was usually reaching out our generation, you know, younger kids, and we were having issues, you know, getting taken seriously by an older generation. So we released that album to kind of show them that, you know, we listen to that type of music too. We grew up with it. We can play it too.
Okay, so they were trying to kind of put you in a little small category. You're like, no, we can do it all. We can do a whole lot. Yeah, a different angle of what people thought only could do. Then just want to give them, oh no, we can do this too.
Yeah, because
and take it serious. We're here.
Back in the day, we would hear a lot. No, it's música para la chaviza, like
para la chaviza.
For only kids.
For kids.
And we were like, no, we can play old people's music or whatever.
Older people music.
Play oldies.
Let's call it more mature audience music.
Yeah.
So, and how was the feedback on that? How was the intake? How did the people take it? Did if you feel like it did, they take you more serious, and then
they did, and it actually kept us alive because if you remember whenever Tribal came by, it kind of crushed down like the real cumbia,
like a lot.
Yeah, so like all the cumbia bands that we know, that we remember, that kind of had the same style that we did, they just kind of split, died down, and split, and that album kind of helped us maintain, like, stay relevant in the market here in Dallas. Okay,
so you said something very interesting there. I heard. What do you mean keep you alive? Is that what you mean? Like, we're really close to just not keep making music because y'all felt like it just wasn't working at that time? Or
the events went down. You know, the plays weren't going as good as they were in that first album. Private events, they were usually hiring DJs, which, you know, nothing against DJs, but, you know, they were hiring for Tribal. You know, that was their whole vibe. So when it came to like live music or cumbia bands, you know, it was just pretty hard to find work when it came to that. But you know, it helped us by releasing that album because we kind of stayed in the market and the business, kind of working and performing. Yeah,
because some of the older crowd, the more mature crowd, didn't really feel the Tribal. It was more like a kid thing. Yeah. So well, let me get somebody that can play our music and we can still dance. So that's cool.
It opened a lot of doors too, because a lot of venues started putting us to open up with like bigger bands, like in that same category and stuff like that. So we were still playing at clubs because of that album. Okay.
So tell me a couple of the bands that you have opened up for, because I know you have done quite a bit. And here let's talk about first who you opened up for here around in the DFW, and then the people that you done out of state before. So who is that?
Do you remember, Chris? So
well, there's a few. Well, like I remember doing Banda Recodo and Patrulla 81.
Nice.
That was a good show that we played. A big crowd that.
And that was here in the Dallas area?
Yes, in Dallas.
Okay.
Huracanes del Norte también.
Oh, yeah, they did Huracanes too?
Yeah.
And what was that at? I mean, out here?
Yes, I heard club, and then where else?
Well, that was it. They used to make the Latin Grammy street parties, I think, around Jefferson Street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they used to bring a lot of bands. And
I remember a picture with them.
We were invited. Yeah. Huracanes were there too.
What other ones do you remember?
So we got to open up for Los Chicos de Barrio
Los Chicos de
and
Barrio.
Los Capi, and who else?
And then we got invited to open up for this Colombian vallenato band, Binomio de Oro.
Oh yeah.
So that was a good
Nice.
show right there too.
Well, what about out of state? What have you done before? Y'all performed out of state before?
Yeah, we have.
What state so far? Or what about out of the country?
Out of the country, no, but we're kind of looking into that.
Looking
we want
into that?
Yeah, we want to expand, and we have a couple, like a following in Mexico that keeps requesting us to go and tour that down there.
Have you noticed that here in because y'all born, you said here in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
So y'all from here in Dallas, and mostly the band is from most other places, but most of it's Dallas.
Yeah.
Have you ran into the thing where you go into another state and then you just get a little more love than the people here? No, honestly,
Yeah.
it's a weird thing, right?
Sometimes.
And then imagine if you went to another country,
Yeah.
how much more it would be. Especially, I do have a following over there.
Right.
I feel it would be dope.
Yeah.
I go with y'all.
Yeah, let's go.
Let me know where y'all going.
Let's go.
Set it up.
I team over. I do some MCing.
A lot of the following that we get from Mexico is from Aguascalientes. They play a lot of our music, and they're always like constantly messaging us to go down there. Or like they always want us to leak our music because they're like they can't wait for the next release, and
that's
we're
so
like,
dope.
all right.
Yeah, don't miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, no,
whenever
we're
you get
looking into
everything
it.
lined up,
Yeah.
get a good promoter. Careful with them.
Oh yeah,
Some janky ones over there. Well, I'm not saying there are janky promoters out there, but I'm saying there probably is. That's dope. What is the most favorite show so far? I mean, again, every show is different experience, different things like that. But what is the most for both of y'all? And again, we only speak because the other members are not here. I'm pretty sure they have a different one. For y'all two, what is the most memorable shows y'all had so far that you'd be like, oh man, this is so worth what we're doing?
yeah, a lot. You name one, Chris.
have a few.
Go.
You can give me 2 or 3.
Like I've always liked. I think we've opened up for Chicos de Barrio and Los Capi once or twice, and I've always liked like the crowd they gather, and like the people just love cumbia,
Right.
So it's like they enjoy our music too, like and we've had people like follow us, and they're like, hey, I like y'all music, and like where y'all from, and they think we're from Coahuila also, but we're like, nah, we're from Michoacán, and they're like,
Nah, dile, somos de Dallas, Texas, pero raíces de Michoacán.
Michoacán.
What about you?
So I like doing the more intimate shows. There's this venue here there's a bar here in Dallas, Las Almas Rotas, that we played there
I've never
before.
heard of it.
Uh-huh.
Where's that one at?
It's over there by
by
Perry
Fair
Street.
Park, Perry Avenue, I think.
Yeah, y'all perform often?
Yeah.
I need to go check you out over there.
Well, we didn't get a chance to perform this year.
Uh-huh.
We don't know if they're still gonna host another event, but if they do, I hope they call us. But
That's
I
dope.
like how everyone just kind of gets together, and it's very intimate because we're like close to the audience, and I kind of like getting that vibe from the audience.
I like
kind of
that. I
hypes me up too. I guess that's one of my good venues or experiences. Also like Binomio de Oro, I liked opening it up to that band because it was like a challenge because it's a vallenato band from Colombia, and pretty much the audience was, I'd say like 75% like Colombian audience, and so it was like a challenge for me to
Right.
to get them to accept their music, and luckily they did. They liked it. They were hyped, and
Yeah,
they responded very well.
There's a guy, a rapper, SPM. He says, "Dope sells itself." Like if it's dope, it's gonna sell. Like whether you're performing or it's just a product. If it's just dope, if it's super badass, hey, then people are just gonna draw to it automatically. You just can't help it. I've jammed to some like Brazilian music or some things I don't even understand, but it sounds really good. And you can't help but be like, oh yeah, You know what I mean?
I think I've heard some Brazilian songs.
Yeah,
they're
you'd be like, I don't know what they say, but this
yeah.
go hard. Like, oh yeah, that's dope. I'm sorry. So let's go back to the question about out of state. So what states have you performed so far?
It's Arkansas and Oklahoma, I think.
Oklahoma and
Is that
I
it?
think that's it. We played a lot in Oklahoma and Arkansas, pretty much like some of the cities there. I know this year we're going down to Louisiana, so
Nice.
that's gonna be fun. First
Oh,
time
yeah.
there, but we should play like some of the West Texas areas and down South Texas. It's where
How are the shows over there? How they take them? Pretty good.
yeah, Yeah, I guess they're fun. It's fun to see the different cultures because
you can be honest and say, yeah, they love us a whole lot more over there than here in Dallas when we perform in this intimate settings and people really. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. They appreciate y'all.
It's smaller counties, so it's, you kind of see everything down there. You see mixed races, so it's fun to see all like diverse public and just kind of showing off your music and seeing them dance to it. Just kind of
that's pretty cool.
Feels kind of fun.
And then your next project that y'all got into, you got linked up with Los Converse con Ritmo y Corazón, right? Is that the next one?
No. So after the Le Pongo Sabor, we released a song with Chico Style, which is another local band from here that plays cumbia, and we released Party Time.
Party Time.
Yeah, so...
Eso no la vi en la website o lo perdí o no lo agarré.
Yeah, no, se perdió. We gotta... Yeah, we haven't played it in a while, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did that one come about?
My buddies they just got together. They weren't even a band yet. They were just kind of making music, and they invited us to make a song. And then I remember we started like at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and all I remember is leaving and driving home and seeing the sunrise.
Really?
It was like 7 in the morning. We spent all day, all night just working on that song, and
we finished it.
But I feel like you're more creative in the afternoon, the morning time when you record it, or late at night. Because some people, for whatever reason, find it that like late hours, like 2 or 3 in the morning, even though it's late, it's like a different energy that you get, to be more creative. Which one do y'all like more when y'all recording, or does it really matter to y'all?
I tried everything.
I've never noticed. I just know we usually record at night.
So y'all like
that's when we have free time.
So y'all like at night. Well, yeah, the free time, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
See, myself, since I'm always writing and composing music, I don't really feel it. I just kind of know that when I try to sit down, nothing really comes out. But ideas always come to me when I'm like driving or doing something else. So I have to like get
memos. He has a bunch of memos.
Yeah.
Oye, mujer. Oh no, esa ya la never mind.
I record
that one.
Yeah. So right now I've been trying to improve my memos, because sometimes I'll record like catchy, licks and stuff like that. But then when I get home, I'll be listening to them, and I'm like,
what did I say?
What is that? It doesn't even make sense. So I'll delete it.
I bet there's probably an app where you can do text to speak, where you can just write it out, and then maybe that will work better. Yeah, because you have to get that moment, bro. It could be the hit. It could be the hit. What is the number one hit so far that y'all feel like y'all have, as far as like the one that's done the most numbers out of all the songs that y'all done so far? Not a cover, but an original.
Okay. So which one is that? I think that would be Nuestro Cumbión. I think it's the song we did with Converse. It's doing very well, like locally and out of the States.
Okay.
It's a song that just came. I made a beat, and I got together with Converse, the leader of Converse, Snoopy. We were just kind of hanging out.
So that was the next project, right?
So after what is it?
After Con Ritmo.
No, after Gruperas is Con Ritmo y Corazón. That album is just kind of compilation of songs that we had together and just kind of always wanted to put out.
Yeah.
So after that album is when we released Nuestro Cumbión with Converse.
And how did that come about? How did y'all link up together? Because they still doing? I haven't seen them lately do stuff. They still doing active stuff?
Yeah, they're still very active. They were actually recording my studio at that time, and it just kind of like they needed one more song. So I was like, well, let's do a feat. Let's do something together. I have a beat here. And I showed it to them, and their bass player, Rafita, he decided to put lyrics to it, and we kind of put everything together, and it became a hit.
Yeah. And where are they from? What area are they from?
They're from Dallas and Denton, and I know Snoopy's from Monterrey, and Rafita is from Distrito Federal, and they have like some people from Coahuila and Laredo and stuff like that.
So that's the song that you feel like is just up there as far as numbers.
Yeah, it's as far as numbers with the streams of compared to the first album it's gotten a lot of plays and a lot of shares, and
that's nice
playlists.
That's dope. And then did it request it a lot? when y'all go?
Yeah.
Yeah, often. That's cool. That's cool. All right, and then you have Mr. Cumbión, you said it did, and then Festival de la Cumbia is the last party I had, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's with all the members already currently.
Yeah. So that's an actual that's a live album that we
That's
did.
a live album,
Yeah.
which I did.
So we just kind of did a compilation of all the pretty much every song that we play, and we recorded it at Traders Village, and they allowed us to set up all the mics and the sound system. So we got a nice recording out of it, and it's like a bunch of hits, cumbia hits, classics, originals, and it's just kind of to put music out there.
Because it's a thing now to do something like that. Like all the songs that are hits, it's kind of like that setup.
Yeah.
Like the video wise, like ¿cómo se llama? Grupo Firme. And them, they do a lot of different things
like
with people that link together.
Live videos.
With the thing. And it's just, I don't know, it's like and like I said before, it just sounds so much different. Los Angeles Azules, when they came back and they did their second wave, and now they're like the biggest thing ever. They did things like that. And when they put an orchestra, bro, it sounds so clean.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to get an orchestra here locally in Dallas, what's up?
Yeah. What's up? Hit us up.
We're looking for orchestra to do that sound itself. I'm telling you, live instruments sound so much better. And whenever they add the orchestra right there, it's just like a different type of, man, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I hope y'all one day y'all get an orchestra to do it.
So,
Traders Village también todos.
Yeah, if you're an orchestra director, link with me.
Yeah, absolutely. That would
do something cool.
That would be nice to do so.
Yeah.
And how long is that? How long was the whole process to do that one? So you guys straight up just played? Did y'all take breaks or anything? It was just a whole straight up recording?
We we played through the whole thing, and what I did is we edited the spaces, between the songs, so it'll just be like a long continuous album.
Nice.
3 hours, right?
I think around 2 or 3.
No, 2 hours.
3 hours?
It has like 35 songs.
I think that's pretty good though. Still, it's a whole party. I'm pretty sure somebody played it at their party. Like didn't hire a DJ.
That was
didn't bring y'all and like, hey, we got a whole
live band.
party.
That's the idea.
It sounds live.
That was the idea.
Okay,
I was like, I'll tell my friends and family. I'm like, hey, play this at your party. Just let it run.
Just let it run.
Just let it run.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Hey, bump your numbers up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I like that. And again, it's just a different type of. Have y'all done? I know I've seen some of your videos. Have you done something like Virman does that, where you set up like it's just literally like un callejón and just put it in and just start playing live stuff? Because I seen the video with Converse. Y'all were at the warehouses, right?
Yeah,
that's where y'all did that video.
I think, right?
And then, but y'all never done anything like that where you just play a couple songs.
We released something recently where it's like we did 3 covers and 2 originals, something like that, and it's a live session that we did.
Nice.
We set up, our lighting and audio equipment, and we just kind of got our friend Juan Carlos and the director to film it for us, and it was a pretty cool experience. Fun fact, we did that like in, when was it, February?
Probably like last year.
No, but it was this year, but it was like super cold. It was like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be like at 54 or something like that, but it dropped. It got super cold, and we were out there, and we had the whole setup already, so it wasn't like, oh, let's do it some other day
when it gets warmer.
We had the camera set already, and lighting was all good. Everyone was there. We're like, all right, let's do it.
Man, so it was cold and y'all was just jamming out.
Yeah.
Hey, but after a while, you start warming up. You're like, hey, that's how you really got to stretch extra, and then have to run to warm up, and then and then imagine you're all cold. Like, why he smiling so much? He can't stop smiling. His face is frozen. That's crazy.
We had a fire pit, and that thing wouldn't last. Yeah,
I know, calambres and everything.
We had a fire pit. That thing didn't last more than 5 minutes. Like, you would have to put like more firewood every 5 minutes.
And what was the location at on that one?
The backyard.
También?
The backyard.
Backyard. Órale. Okay, so all these projects are done. What other projects they are working right now, or anything new that you are working on that you are you thought about, songs lined up, ready in the vault?
Yeah,
sharpening up.
Well, the 2 we released, an original, El Reventón, on Spotify, and then we also released Rosas on Spotify also.
Yeah,
and
those are just singles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those we actually did. We also did those in the live video sessions.
Yeah.
So we have those too.
Yeah, how are they looking right now?
So the Rosas is actually playing very well. It's doing very well in Argentina and parts of Distrito Federal in Mexico City. It's playing a lot. A lot of the stats are coming from that side of town. Rosas, I think, has like about 60K plays already on Spotify, and that's like in about in a month and a half or something like that, which is like a big deal to us because it's a local band and we didn't do anything to to boost those plays or anything. They just got picked up by someone, and I guess someone shared it or.
That's how it happened. We all connected globally now. It's so crazy. The internet takes you places. And then y'all verify too. You already know blue check over here. We fancy over here at the Global Lab. We're not blue check yet, but y'all are. And y'all, is that both on Facebook and Instagram or just Facebook?
Facebook. We keep getting rejected on Instagram. If you guys want to follow us, so we can get verified.
Go ahead and give them a follow. Why? Well, did they give? There's the same company. They can see that you're doing almost the same thing on Facebook.
They make it harder on Instagram.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is it? How many so far on as far as followers on Instagram?
So I think we just reached 1,100. No, 1,100 followers, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably they're weird.
Yeah, it's pretty slow there, but Facebook we already got like over 5,000 followers, and then they did an update which kind of dropped it down because now it's not. It used to be about giving Facebook likes, and it automatically allowed you to follow the page, but now it's like you have to like the page and then you have to follow the page, so it's like two different things now.
That's where it messed up because people already now wanted to do stuff. First of all, and all it takes is like click, and then now you have to do. Before it used to be just click, I'm good, and then I give y'all your feet. Now I have to be click, and then another question. I'm like, man, forget this. I'm done. You know what I mean? I like it make it harder, and then it's beneficial for the algorithms and everything instead of just like make it one and then it automatic follows. Why wouldn't you want to follow if you like it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes no sense that they think that you need to follow already. It should be just one thing.
One thing,
I'm going to holler at Facebook. I know you're hearing me right now.
And then I guess if you don't interact with the page, like Facebook stops showing it up on your feed, like.
Okay, so check it out. There's this movie called The Social Dilemma. Have you ever seen it before?
Yeah. Almost.
So Facebook's not even Facebook. They're not even. There's the AI that's running the thing. So, but if they don't see any interaction, then of course. And then of course, I think sometimes they do it on purpose. You know why? To pay some money from some advertisers, like run it.
Yeah.
And then it's the worst to do one because then all of a sudden they just expect it every time to just spend money on promoting your stuff.
It's already proven by us because we posted one of the videos. I posted a promo or a photo for one of the videos, and it wasn't getting any likes. And like 2 hours went by, and I looked at the post, and I was like, let's see who interacted with it, and it had 0 likes.
Wow.
And I was like, what's going on? And then I called one of my buddies. I was like, hey, can you look at my page, see if that post is up? And he's like, yeah, I see it, but I didn't see it on my feed. And I'm like, that's weird, because. Usually whenever we would post a photo,
you figure it goes into every single person that liked that, right? It had to go into their feed. There's no way not to.
But I was like, it's probably something going on because it's like not even a like. It's like
of the many people that like the page.
Yeah,
that I'm pretty sure more than half are following the page.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't get anything, so I took the post down. I posted it like 2 hours after, and it started getting more interaction. But I was like...
So weird. Well, it depends also on the time, right? Because a lot of the times, the hot times to post... Well, I don't know anymore, but usually it was like 9, 12, and like 5 to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
It'll be the times that people start getting into Facebook.
Yeah, we should always post like peak time, lunchtime or whatever. But yeah, it wasn't getting anything. And I think they were trying to get... They were running this promotion about like doing ads on Facebook as creators. And, I didn't feel like I have to... pay to make an ad,
I feel the same thing about tollways. You know that? I feel like I don't get on tollways. It's not by accident. Like, my taxes already pay for roads. Why do I have to pay for another road that I'm gonna probably get stuck? Maybe save me a few minutes. I'm like, I just leave early. And get to it. I feel the same way. And you're right. Like all those people, and it's crazy to us because it's not that we necessarily need it, but it is a good tool to have. But then they put it to where they wanted to condition you to pay money for people to see you. And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't get a good feel out of it.
You guys seen those prices on the Express? They're like, I never really paid attention to it until I had to use it one time because there was traffic and I was running late to a sound check. and I got on it and I saw the sign too late, but it said it was like $5. something like that,
$5
for every exit. And I think it has like 3 exits on the express on 635.
Oh man.
And yeah, that thing was pretty expensive.
Make sure you pay on time too, because you know what? That was a conspiracy. We need to talk about that. Cause, okay, tell me why I never get all the other receipts, right? All the other ones that you owe up money, whatever. Until the third one, when it's already pink. and one time, $1.50 turned into like $30 or $60. And then I looked at it and I threw a fit. I'm like, not outfit, a fit. For me, it's a fit. It's like I threw a fit. Like, I can't believe it. I'm still gonna pay it, but I can't believe it. There you go. Take my money, you bastards. Never again. And it was all accidental too. It wasn't on purpose. I took the wrong exit, and before you know it, I'm in the tollway. I'm like, and I try to swerve a little bit as I exit. Maybe they didn't get my picture, but they got so many cameras. They're gonna get you every single time. I don't blame the people that be putting like covers, or they have little buttons where they cover your plates, and then you can go. I'm not giving no ideas. I'm just saying there's people out there. They work the system, but I feel them though. I feel them because $1 turned into, by accident, turned into like $30, $60, and that's not cool. Yeah, I know you hear me Facebook too. You can tell them that.
Tell them that.
Listening.
So right now that y'all have this, is there like an actual another album that y'all gonna be working on? That you're just focusing on singles right now? And what about? Okay, so I wanted to ask this. Mm-hmm. So I know that you say you have your own unique thing. Do you think you'll be considered like a genre, really, or not necessarily? You just got your own way of sound and the sound that identifies you.
So the whole logo change was because I wanted to kind of go with the Cumbia Urbana sound.
Cumbia Urbana.
So trying to, like everything has Tropical Urbano and stuff like that. So I mean, maybe we could fit in that in that category if we ever, get to that.
Right.
Those awards and stuff. But the whole reason I changed is because I want to start adding more of electronic sounds, more of different types of lyrics, more relevant to what's out there, more commercial lyrics, like trap lyrics, and more of love lyrics that are more commercial.
I feel like it would be a good mashup that I was thinking the other day. I don't know if I heard it before, but it would be like a Wapango reggaeton type. Maybe like a Wapango cumbia type, kind of with the same tamborazo type, but give it like a cumbia. Oh, yeah. And then it used to be, what was it? What was the one from Gloria Trevi? They did the conga. The conga is just like they're just jamming out. Mm-hmm. The conga is just a jamming out. It's not even a song. It's name a song, but all they do is jam out. Did you ever do anything like that where you just jam out?